Hi, good afternoon and welcome to the Marketplace. My name is Darrell Kwao. Coming up, government denies deal to sell of Kotoka International Airport to strategic investor. Also, Cocoa Board shuts down head office in Accra after mass testing for COVID-19 resulted in positive cases. We have details right after this. In our first story this afternoon, government has denied entering a deal to sell the Kotoka International Airport to a strategic investor. There were some media reports about a deal being finalized to hand over the facility to a foreign entity. Charles Aite has more in a statement issued by the Aviation Ministry.
The Aviation Ministry has been hit with series of allegations that it is with the backing of the presidency considering a forward sale of the Kotoka International Airport to Turkish firm Tafsuma Consortium. But the sector minister, Joseph Kofi Arda, in a statement floored these allegations as he clarified that the purpose of Tafsuma Consortium is rather to improve service delivery and expansion of infrastructure at the KIA under a proposed strategic partnership agreement with the Ghana Airport Company Limited. According to the statement signed by the minister, an executive approval was granted by the president for the ministry to facilitate the engagement of the strategic partners. So far, the set time for the execution of this partnership is unknown, as excerpt of the statement indicate, quote, neither the ministry nor the Ghana Airport Company Limited has yet formally started any process of engagement on the subject matter with any stakeholder or partner, unquote. It said the ministry would continue to constructively engage its agencies and stakeholders in matters affecting the aviation sector, with the ultimate aim of achieving the president's vision of making Ghana an aviation hub in the sub-region.
Now, the coalition of aggrieved customers of Mezz has reiterated its call on government to pay their locked-up funds. At a press conference in Kumasi, the group called out government's lackadaisical approach in dealing with their issues. They are asking to be paid from the consolidated fund.
From the consolidated fund before the end of October 2020. 2. Government asked the payment of our money in the 2020 mid-year budget for payment before 31st October. 3. Preparing confiscate all assets of NAM1, sell it and return the proceeds to the state coffers. 4. We are, however, open for further discussion on the aforementioned issues by government relevant agencies. The media, all what we are saying, or the reason why we are gathered here this morning, that there is no peace within our houses. There is no food on our tables. People are dying. People are dying. Over 56 customers of Mezz have died out of this issue. And we are calling government, we are calling a state institution that they should be up and doing. We are citizens. We are not spectators. We are citizens. We are telling the government that enough is enough. If we stay in our homes, we are going to perish. And if we come out, we will perish. Then aggrieved customers of Mezz, we have decided, or we are deciding that then we will come to the street and perish there. Because when we are in our indoors, we are perishing. We will not stay in our rooms and die. We will rather die on the street. So we are urging the government, that they should consider our statement. They should consider our plea. Enough is enough. And now one should never think that he will go scot-free. 1,000 years to come, you will take our money. And now we are taking our money. Our money.
Our blood.
Our money.
Our blood.
Our money.
Our blood.
Oh, please. Thank you.
All right, and we hopefully will get you some more on that press conference when we establish contact with our reporter who was on the ground. So it's been 3 years since two steel manufacturing companies, United and Ryder Steel, were directed by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, to shut down operations due to air pollution at the Free Zones Enclave. But that is yet to be done. A few weeks ago, the Minister of Environment, Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng, again visited the companies, directing they do the needful. As we speak, these two companies are still operating. Charles Aite was at the Free Zones Enclave and reports some steel factory workers are accusing the EPA and government of being lenient with the company as they mourn the death of a colleague who reported to have died of smoke inhalation.
So I don't know whether the law enforcement agents are waiting for us to die, just the way we lost one of our colleagues called George. I've been with the family and I have the report from the doctor at one hospital at Malam Junction called Akawi. I went there personally to do the inquiries, and I was told that he died. He had an infection because of the smoke. Here as well, I get my daily bread from. You understand? So I will not wait for them to drive us away from our work. We are not rats. We are human beings. And I know it's only rats that they chase them out of their pit by smoke. We are human beings. And this smoke is not just a mere smoke. It contains some poisonous substance called carbon.
Me personally, it darkened my face. All my face is dark. And at times I even cough. So I think it is the symptoms of the smoke. So we are appealing to the government to come to our aid. We don't want to take the laws into our hand and do what is not acceptable. That is why we are appealing to the government to come to our aid.
We have complained about a lot, and we are getting infection, our workers and our customers. We are not getting any result from it. We have done a lot of videos, demonstration, but nothing is going on. So we want to invite the Health Ministry and the Environmental Protection Agency to come inside with this smoking issue. We are dying about this issue. See, we are not getting any result from it. So we are begging the government that he shouldn't focus on COVID-19 alone.
You're watching The Marketplace. Some news we are receiving this afternoon. Cocoa Board has closed down its head office in Accra for a fumigation exercise. Management in a statement said a mass testing exercise resulted in some staff testing positive. Charles Aite has been following that story. He joins me from the Joy Business Newsroom. What do we know so far, Charles? Hello, Charles. Can you hear me? Okay, we seem to be having problems.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Darryl?
Yes, I can now. What do you know so far, Charles?
All right, so a statement signed by the Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Aidu, has indicated that after some staff tested positive for the coronavirus, they've ordered for the shutdown of their head office at Accra Central, subsidiaries and other divisions across the country to fumigate the entire offices before they resume work in that particular regard.
And do we know to what extent this closure would affect the operations of Cocoa Board? Did they say anything to that effect?
It's been of a huge concern, especially to cocoa farmers who are feeling the fact that this could impact the prices and even the sale of cocoa beans. But in the statement, once again, the chief executive made it quite clear that all workers are going to be working virtually, and they've given them the needed tools to work virtually in this particular regard. So in as much as it's going to disrupt workflow in terms of the physical contact that workers could have with cocoa farmers, the use of virtual platforms is really going to be the next game changer for Cocoa Board in these uncertain times.
All right. Thank you very much for the update, Charles Aite, there for us. We appreciate it. Now, Goldline Mining Company is spearheading reclamation of degraded land for commercial farming in the Amansia South District of the Ashanti region. Chief Executive Officer Emmanuel Ababio says research is underway to determine suitable crops for cultivation. There's more in the following report.
Farmers selected from 13 communities in the mine catchment area have been earmarked for recruitment under a special project. Mr. Ababio explains what the initiative entails.
We do the land reclamation and we add value to the land. First, we do the soybean, so we add nitrogen to the soil. And then we do the corn, So we do shifting cultivation. And also we intend to work with the partners from outside to do large-scale commercial agriculture. So we put up processing plant and do the sugarcane factory. And also we'll be setting up silos and export the corn and the soybean. Basically, our job is mining. Mining, we only do open pit. The open pit has already been taken off. So the project of Gold Line is 70% owned by the Ghanaian, and the foreign assistance also will be coming.
Hundreds of acres of farmlands destroyed by desperate miners in search of gold have left open pits which have become death traps. A program by the District Assembly to chase the miners to reclaim the land has yielded little results. William Asante Bediako's District Chief Executive.
All the lands here for agriculture purposes. Before he came here, people have done galamsey around this whole place. And now he is going to reclaim it and then use it for agriculture purposes. And he has selected people. AP here, he selected 40 people. Kent Street, 20 people. Wahaso, 20 people and come. So it is the indigenous that are going to benefit from this agriculture and then the gold that's going to produce here. So people should stop looking at mining as a very bad thing. When gold is somewhere, you want to stigmatize them. If there's no gold in your community, look for what is there and leverage on it.
Communities to be impacted by the program have well received the idea.
Now, the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association has appealed for tax relief to enable businesses in the housing sector stay afloat during the pandemic. Government has introduced a stimulus package for businesses during this period. Executive Secretary of GREDA, Samuel Amegayabo, earlier told me that although most real estate developers may not fall in that category, government can help by taking off some tax burdens.
About the current situation, as we are able to overcome we become to understand the disease very well, and our medical professionals help us with how to better manage our system. All these things will change, and I guess we'll pick it up from there.
Are there any reliefs you are seeking?
We want to. We have been listening, we've been watching, we've put our ears on the ground. We've been seeing some of the interventions and attempts by government to try and help businesses, but we don't seem to be seeing what will help the real estate industry. We don't fall into the category of SMEs and stuff like that. We need big interventions. And so I believe that it hasn't gotten to our time yet. We've been hearing of other options that are coming up and other interventions that will better suit us. But at the moment, what we are hearing that government has rolled out doesn't really fit our business category. And so we are just hoping that government will begin to look at some of us and the big players also, and what will actually work for us. Some of us, it's perhaps not even about giving us money or so, like some of what has been rolled out for the SMEs. But there could be some tax breaks, some reliefs here and there, so that it will give us some space to turn this around. Yes.
All right, let's turn to our earlier story where Mezz Gold customers are accusing the government of being lackadaisical in its approach in dealing with their issues, their locked up funds. Let's go to Nana Asensu Mensah, who was at the press conference for us. He joins us via the phone. Tell us more about the concerns of these customers, especially their concerns with how government is dealing with the matter. Nana.
Yeah, Daryl, the accused customers of the fines gold dealership, they are saying that actually they said so many things, but let me just categorize them into four. So first of all, they want government to pay them from the consolidated fund before the end of October 2020. Also, the aggrieved customers are saying that government should, add the payment of their money in the 2020 media budget for payment before October 31st. And then also, they want government to confiscate and sell assets of Nana Appiah Mensah, that is number one, and then sell all his assets and return the proceeds to the state coffers. Lastly, they also say that they are opening up to government and its relevant agencies that there are mentioned issues that they have put before government. they are opening up for interested to discuss with them. They are also up for that discussion. So basically, that's what they are saying. They are also alleging that government is somehow in bed with the defunct gold dealership firm owner, number one. That is why government has dropped all the 61 charges that was leveled against him in court. So in all, they are just quite disappointed. And then they are also calling on all their members, their family members, and then also all their relatives that they should massively, register their ongoing voter registration so that they can acquire their card and then decide whether to vote for the government or vote against him. That will depend if the government heeds their call before October 2020. So basically, this is what they are pouring out to the government. Dario.
All right, thanks for the update, Nana Sensumens from the Ashanti region, of course, where Mezz Gold customers are not happy with how government has been dealing with the issues with their locked-up funds. Manufacturing firm PZ has started buying back its shares from shareholders. The process was started yesterday as part of a broad scheme to delist from the Ghana Stock Exchange, a move that has been approved by managers of the market. The firm is therefore offering shareholders 45 pesos for each share held, which actually represents 15.4% higher than the current market price. Now, let's get some more analysis to this. Joining me is stock market analyst Bertha Tubiga. So just quickly tell us what the buyback of shares by PZ means for the company and for investors.
Okay, so simply it means that investors are not going to lose their investment in PZ Cousins on the Ghana Stock Exchange, unlike when a company is delisted and then they don't have the opportunity of getting back value for the investment they have made. But with PZ Cousins, investors are going to get, and this is actually going to be on a premium, and the premium, as you mentioned, is 45 pesos per share. And if you look at the price of the equity in the last 10 trading days, which starts from November last year till now, it's been 38 pesos on the market. And that is very good for investors.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your analysis this afternoon. That's the marketplace.